We are not in the same boat. Financial thoughts and tips to support your practice. Hi, I'm Lynn Page from Painter's Practice, and for those of you that haven't met me yet, I've been coaching and supporting a variety of businesses for over 9 years, and prior to that, I worked in the world of accounting and finance. Today, I'm going to share my thoughts and tips on how you can come out of COVID-19 thriving. I hope you've all had a chance to get your head around the government support that is available to you in your practice at this time. Each of you will be in a different position dependent on your setup, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. As a rough guide, I hope you've considered and looked into the £10,000 grant available to any business qualifying for small business rates relief. And for some of you, this might be £25,000, dependent on the rateable value of your property. Have you considered furloughing any employees, including yourself, if you're a director and not working? Postponing paying self-assessment income tax in July, although this will still be payable in January 2021, so this is only a deferment. Taking a mortgage holiday could give you 3 months of relief. Looking out for the online application for self-assessment grants for those of you that are self-employed. This is coming through mid to end of May. Have you thought about applying for a business interruption loan? And there's a good website that can help with this. It's the British Business Bank Account website, and it's got a good filter system to look through the many options available to you. Also recently introduced has been the Small Business Bounce Back Loan. That might be helpful to some of you as well. Have you checked your business insurance, and do you have interruption cover? And there's also universal credit to apply for. Having applied for all the support you can, here are a few tips to help you manage cash flow during this lockdown period. You might consider offering online consultations and charging for them. And whilst most of you probably run a very hands-on clinic, you're still able to offer tremendous value by assessing patients online and giving advice. And we see this working successfully with many clinics. I urge you to review all your current spending. I recommend you go through your bank and credit card statements literally line by line. Ask yourself if each service is something you still need, and check that you're still getting the best deal. An example here might be utilities, for example. Stop any services you're paying for and not using right now, or negotiate holiday days on existing contracts. Many service providers are offering a pause in monthly payments for a period of time, and our experience is that the vast majority of suppliers are being understandable and flexible. There is always the exception, and you may have to be a little bit firmer with some of them. Think about transferring your credit card balances. There are 0 interest options available, and if you have a look around, there might be one that's suitable for you, and this can just save paying interest, for example. Take advantage of the reduced interest rates offered by the business interruption loan and the small business bounce back loans. And for the first year, the government will pay the interest and fees on these, so this may help your cash flow. Once you've done all you can to improve your cash flow, now might be a golden opportunity to carry out a financial review of your practice and to consider what you'll reinstate once we're through lockdown. Think about what you'll stop doing, what you'll build on, and what new things you can implement. Do a complete financial review. Look at who and what services generate the most revenue for your practice, and think about how these services might be affected. Do you know how many patients you need to break even? So a simple exercise can be to work out how much it costs to run your clinic and then divide this by your treatment fee. And to save getting too complicated, I would just use your lowest fee and then you'll get a worst case scenario of how many treatments you need to provide to cover the costs. Reflect back, what's been your most successful year and what was key to making this successful? And then think about how this applies in today's circumstances and going forward. Review your processes and activities. Which ones drain your resources? Go through your entire patient journey and think about how you carry out each step. Are you being as efficient as you can be? And then, of course, there's new costs we might have to consider, such as PPE and increased cleaning. And think about how these will impact your fee to your patient. Developing or strengthening a habit of setting financial targets and reviewing actual performance regularly will help you to build a more stable practice. Start by drawing up a budget based on last year's performance and your best predictions of what the year ahead might hold. So we recommend by doing a bottom-up budget, and by this I mean start with the profit you need or want to make, add your taxes and expenses, and then work out what turnover or income you need to generate, you need to see coming into your clinic. Next, try and stick to this budget as far as possible. Only spend what you can afford, and this is aimed at helping you or avoid increasing or getting further into debt, or even getting into debt. It also keenly focuses you on what your priorities are, what you need to spend on, and what are nice to have. And it's a very similar concept to the idea of just eating off a smaller dinner plate. Card payments, as well as reducing contact for COVID-19 purposes, take away the risk of cash being spent on other things and not being accounted for and banked within the finances of your clinic and your practice. And I'm also a strong advocate of setting up different bank accounts. And this is to ensure that you have the money available when you need it, to invest in your future, to pay yourself, to pay your taxes and loans and other commitments as they fall due, and also to reduce the risk of spending money that, if you like, is not technically yours. This can be very tempting when things get tight. And a budget should be a work in progress, and it's something to review regularly. So your budget will inform you of your profit and loss and your expense ratios and income streams, but there's other numbers about your practice that can also be important to monitor. If you have practice management software, you'll probably be able to extract a lot of this information already. Think about the key performance indicators. What are they for your practice? We recommend monitoring numbers of new patients, sources of patients, numbers of treatments, patient visit average, number of cancellations and DNAs, and percentage occupancy. And we recommend doing this as a whole for the clinic, but also by individual practitioner, because sometimes there can be really useful learning in that exercise. And it can be really useful and informative to see all this information on a single page. And if you can't get that from your practice management software system, we recommend you create a simple Excel spreadsheet and populate it. And once you have your dashboard set up, it's important to regularly review, assess, and act. So look at these numbers at least on a monthly basis, and also quarterly and every year, and continually feed back in what you're learning and make necessary adjustments to stay on track. I hope that some of the tips shared in relation to accessing support, managing cash flow, doing a financial review, and creating a budget and dashboard will help you to build a stable and thriving practice post-COVID-19.
Hi, it's Celia Champion here. I really hope that you found my colleague Lynn's tips useful. Please do drop us an email at support@painlesspractice.com if you have any questions or require further support. Do link with us on the social media platforms, and if you'd like to purchase our book or look at the services we offer, visit our website. I wish you all of the very best.